just understanding what fish you're fishing for, especially when it comes to big fish, is probably what I would consider the most important thing, and working it out.
Well, you actually caught that many fish there that people started saying that you were using things that you weren't allowed to use, and that was when the whole hormone thing started.
Yeah, there's like 100 and whatever fish in the lake. We caught 85 of them in 2 weekends. Like,
oh my days, man!
Right,
really, wow. Guys, welcome back to the Always Carp Fishing podcast. I am man flued up to hell, so cue those violins. In the studio, we welcome Carp Machine Mark Bartlett. Joining Mark, I've got Harry Cherrington, Scott Day, and the big man Ian Chillcott makes his return to the studio. We get into Mark's springtime fishing, his latest Fox film, and how Kev Hewitt and Bartlett took apart farriers over a couple of sessions. Enjoy.
Yeah.
They're the ones, aren't they?
Yeah, apart from the raisins, mate.
you'd hate.
We'll have to find somewhere we can go and going back to my roots. That's what it should be called. That'd be good.
There appears to be a joint hatred of raisins.
Raisins is no good.
In his curry.
Some bloke round the shop the other day. He's like,
"Got your raisins, mate?"
"Yeah,
Yeah, I've got loads actually.
Curry
Are
flavour.
we rolling? Are we? Yeah.
he's like, could you come round and sort this branch out? I can't fish." And I'm like, "What are you on about?" So I've gone round, and this is how many you just forget. Because normally when people are casting, they'll be like, "Oh, can you come and cut the branch down? I can't cast a rod." And I reckon I've not cut any of the branches like around the swims for probably 2.5 years. And he's like, "Oh, can you come?" So I've gone round, and it's literally 10 foot above the. And that just shows you how many bait boats are being used, like all the time.
Above him.
Yeah, because no one's casting.
Ah, right.
Like, I was. It wasn't until I went round and cut it off, it dawned on me that.
That I saw. There was a put that Paul Bacon. He put a post up like asking how many people, like what sort of percentage of anglers use a bait boat.
Yeah,
and it's actually like, I think it's
a
probably.
lot.
I don't know whether it's use a bait boat, but have a bait boat.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
The only way
I
you
reckon 70%.
Really?
Have a bait boat.
Wow.
What, the owner bait boat?
Yeah.
No, 95%.
95% of people own a bait boat. Carp anglers.
There ain't one person that comes in our shop, right? If I say to them, "Have you got a boat?" They'd be like, "Yeah."
I'm going to come in your shop.
With a mallet.
Just to reduce the percentage.
Yeah, exactly.
The only person in our shop that ain't got a boat is me.
I think they are a lot more accepted these days.
Yeah.
And they're mega.
Why don't people say they're using them then?
No, I think a lot more people do say that they're using them now. I think it was
It's become more of a norm. It's
that's
more
it.
accepted.
That's it. It is
Stigma's
more
gone a bit
acceptable.
more now, isn't it?
I've got a ticket for four waters this year, and none of them let you anywhere near it with a bait boat. We actually go angling, which I think is good.
I can angle
Sorry.
with a bait boat as well as cast.
No, you can't.
I can.
You're trapping with a bait boat.
No, I'm not. I'm angling.
Yeah.
I'm angling as well.
The art of angling is to cast a baited hook with rod and line.
Can do that. Can do both.
I know you can.
When it's 5 yards, or do you want it 165 yards?
Well, I mean, in a few years' time, I'll be lucky to get to the bank. So
You might need one then.
if I can get with a bait boat, I'm going to be a happy man. I would have thought.
Yeah, I found in the old loft the other day, the art of fishing. Do you remember that? The
green
binders.
one.
Yeah.
Was it the green one?
No, it was like a black binder.
Chili, grab your.
And I remember like the first one in there was like Tommy Pickering teaching how to like perch fish and stuff. This was
Art of fishing.
35 years
But there were
ago,
no
maybe?
bait boats in that, were there, Dino?
No boats in that one. No, rowing boats, that's about it.
I
The old
remember Rob
pontoon.
Malin's the one as part 1 and 2 on Saturday. Oh no, Harefield, wasn't it? With Graham, what's his name? The guy who's out got the lake in Thailand. Graham
Norton.
Oh, God.
Stuart Gillam.
Stuart Gillam. I want to say Graham. Jesus.
He's close, mate. Gillam Graham.
Well, there's the G in it. I got that far, I think. But yeah, things like that just amaze me. You just look back in the day.
Was that the Airfield Hauling ones?
Harefield Hauling, yeah.
Oh, I remember them.
They were quite brutal, actually, in the end, the way they were going about it. But
You could
it was-
hire them from the local tackle shop.
Really?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
it
films, going on to ones that have come out recently, Bartlett, your latest film absolutely smashed it up, mate, on the old Syndicate.
Could have had a few more.
Yeah.
A few more 30s, a few more 40s out of 4.
No, mate, that went really, really well, didn't it, to be fair? That was a good session.
Yeah. that lake's been pretty kind to me. To be fair, I've only fished it a few times, and every time I've been, I've had one or two of the gems. So
fair
can't
play.
grumble.
No, it was good, mate. So when you were obviously gearing up for that, obviously I speak to Ben, who obviously filmed it and edited it and stuff. Did you sort of liaise with him the plan before you got there, or do you sort of prep these trips, or do you pre-plan, or do you get there and suck it and see? What's your method of the madness?
No, the only thing I spoke to him about was what we were going to eat. Same as any other trip, no different to him.
Oh, I miss fishing with Bart.
It's
A man after my own
what
heart.
are we eating? And how much are we getting? But yeah, and that was it. Like the beauty about fishing that lake in particular, it's kind of like, it's almost like stuck in a time warp.
Yeah.
Because like everywhere you go now, the fishing's so manufactured one way or another that just reminded me of like fishing like Horseshoe or like Brasenose one when it started, St John's, Manor, like them, that sort of thing.
What do you mean by that?
Just proper simple solid fishing.
So
yeah.
What do you mean? As in, just explain the lake itself. So how big? What makes it different than your normal sort of run of the mill day ticket? That's
It's like the lakes themselves are like really similar.
Yeah.
But for one reason or another, you just don't need any BS to go with the fishing. It's just literally, there's the fish to them.
Yeah.
Simple bait, something they can see, something they can smell, something they can eat. Just stick a rig over the top. And because the fish are like, I don't know, I wouldn't say that they're not pressured, because they are pressured like all the time, like every lake in the country. But they just seem to like accept it a bit. And so you fish and they come to you on their terms, not you like trying to force it on them on their terms.
You've got a chance to do that then at that lake.
Yeah.
I mean, you threw Brasenose 1 and all those into it. And those are lakes where you never get the chance to do that. You booked your swim 2 years before, haven't you? So it must be a nice thing to get away from that, where you can walk around and think about where you want to fish.
Yeah,
Find your fish kind of
Sounds
thing.
like they behave like carp used to behave then.
Exactly.
Do they show?
That's what I
They
mean.
move to
They just
bait?
like when I remember like when we first. I know like the fish were sort of quite like, and I used Brasenose 1 as an example, but used to fish like in the middle of December, and you'd put a bucket of parkles out. You know, you wouldn't need like 5 gallons of this or a load of that. You could just go fishing with like a bucket of sweet corn, or some pellets and a bit of sweet corn, and yeah.
I'm sure if everybody went back to that, they'd catch again. They wouldn't need loads of maggots or worms or casters. They'd still catch on the old things.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd catch as many. But
and
people would
you're
still.
never going to be able to cut all of that out.
No.
So you're always going to, on some of these other lakes, you're going to feel behind if you aren't using maggots and carps. So what you're saying basically is you don't need to, go down the whole sort of rabbit hole of using loads of naturals and stuff. You can sort of fish.
Just fish with normal carp fishing bait, like boilies, pellets, bit of sweet corn. Like at certain times he lets you put like a few maggots in, but you don't need them. Like you could go there in October, November, even December, and just stick a bucket of pellets out and with a few boilies, and you'll catch fish. Which is just like, it's just so nice.
Interrupt there. When does my ticket arrive? You said. I think you said something.
It's in the post.
No,
but it's a bit like, and also you'll know, it's like farriers.
Yeah.
So like farriers, you go in, and it's a very nice place to go fishing. You go in, you shut the gate, the world stops.
Yeah.
You haven't got. There's not many people walking round. No. You've got a few regulars that fish it on.
Is there the wildlife there as well? I know a lot of the lakes are fenced off there and all that now, but the wildlife up in that area, I think it's a very naturally resourceful place. Do you know what I mean? The waters there are rich waters and always seem to be producing big fish, whatever gets put in there. And
not just carp either, like pike. There's like that lake, and even the lake next door. The perch in there are absolutely Goliath. They're huge.
But those are the fish nowadays that don't get caught, because everybody wants to fish for carp, don't they?
Well, there's a few carp anglers stick on the old woolly jumper and give it one of them in January sort of thing with a stripey. And
that lake you caught, was it? Did you have a 40-pounder from under the ice
What, perch?
last winter?
Yeah, £40 perch. Yeah. And then, so I had the 40-pounder from under the ice. I had a 42-pound linear just before that, and then I took Rupert just after the ice. Well, I took him in the April, and he caught the same 42-pounder. So like, and then I never fished it from when Rupert went. I went back in. It makes it sound like it's going to be like a blooming tuna farm, but it's not.
It's really hard. I'm a bloody good angler.
I went back in the October just to do a night, and I had the same linear. It was a little bit down in weight. It was under £40. So in literally 3 trips, I caught that out of I don't know how many fish are in there, 350, 400 fish in 20 odd acres. And I've had the same one 3 trips in a row.
He certainly likes, yeah.
So when your name's on those fish, it's just it's on it, and
I never want to
3 times.
catch the fish again, ever. When I caught that big one out of Ashmead, and I still had the ticket till March, and I just couldn't leave the place alone. It just, mate, it was like putting on the comfiest pair of trousers and shirt, and you just felt wonderful as you went in there. And I found the big one every time I went there in one certain area of the lake, and every time I fished as far away as I could at the other end of the lake. And as I caught that in January, and I think it's the middle of March, I'd found him down the bottom in this ball of weed. I think he quite literally stayed there sulking since I caught him. And I put some bait in right at the end of the lake. The rod ripped off about an hour later, and it was him. And that really peed me off. I hate catching the same fish again. That's
Do you think though, when the conditions are slightly tougher, like I like fishing, say in the autumn is my favourite time. I don't think the hits are on the cards like in the spring, but not that the conditions are like harder as such, but it's just the mentality of the fish, those bigger fish, they just know that they've got to do something before the winter's come in. Putting on
I think they're all the same. I think those instincts are in every fish. But it's like anything that's feeding as a shoal of fish or a herd of animals. The biggest bully amongst them is going to get the lion's share of. I remember fishing the carp-catching all those years ago, and they had 9 in there, and you could see them on a spot. You could have a hook bait there; it never got picked up. It was ridiculous, but they would tear it to pieces and push the weed back yards away from where they were tearing up on naturals and stuff, and the bigger fish always won. It was amazing. So they're a little more likely to get caught, I think.
I think there's when you look at little fish, when you grow them in a tank, or like these little sea ones or these little fry, when you watch them and they start, it's not that their genetics are any different. It's just that they either learn what's food and how to feed quicker, and it's not like if you had a tank and you hatched a load of little eggs, if that fish got a little bit too big, it'd eat the rest of them. I used to come in the clubhouse in the morning.
That me and Lewis had.
I think whatever's happening in the carp fishing down in the amount of carp we got in the waters, I still think that the fish will still behave relatively the same. It's just that the lesser fish, the more cautious they're likely to be. But there's the missing mirror I caught out of Orton in 1996. And it had lived in Longfield for 35 years and never got caught. I didn't know at the time. We thought it was another fish called Polly, and I found out 10 years later it was the missing mirror. 20 pound and 12 ounces. It never, ever got caught for 35 years. And it got caught twice more after that. I think it's passed on.
But that's like a lot of lakes have got, like you see them in the edge, like these cricket back commons and stuff. You never catch, like the carp had a few like cricket back commons, didn't it?
It did. It had 2 of them. And you had the little mirror. What was it called? I was there when Fudgy caught it. It was a tiny little mirror, beautiful little fish, but they were the only ones in there.
But did they get caught? No, that's it. So like the big ones are they're big for a reason, because they eat.
In 96 when I went on there, I caught one. It's just, I don't know, just before Lynn got ill, so it'd probably be the end of that June. I caught one at £11, and I was like the only person that caught one of those commons all year. Nobody else, and it was ridiculous.
You're lucky I wasn't on there.
Yeah, you're normally very good at catching
the little ones. That's my trick. Catch all the small ones first. But no, I mean, it's hard to put any rhyme or reason to it. But there are certainly fish that don't get caught a lot. I don't think it's because, I don't want to get caught and I'm really clever and all that, because they haven't got that amount of intelligence. But I just think that some fish get involved in.
They're not as ravenous.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If they don't eat as much, then they're not going to get caught as much.
Would you say as well different habits as well? So they are creatures of habit. Do you have? I'm just going off syndicates that I'm on at the moment, where certain fish haven't been out for so long, but then they'll get caught in the most randomest spot that people never think about, and it's because someone's thought just outside the box. Right, it's not being caught. What am I going to do different than the other 12 guys that are on it? Because we're all fishing the same spot, same swim, same. So fish differently to catch the ones that are a little bit more harder to catch. Is that something you thought about?
With like fish, like especially big fish, like all fish, you could go to any lakes, and like my lake, it's 4 acres. I've got 400 fish in there. There's a couple of fish in there. You'll be lucky to see them once every 18 months. Yet you could walk round and you know the others by name. Literally, you see them like they're still dry where the last boat's put them back. Like, do you know? But it is like that. You know, he's not even downloaded his SD card in his back out. But, like, but there's also, and then you have other fish that are creatures of habit, like especially sort of, and just understanding what fish you're fishing for, especially when it comes to big fish, is probably what I would consider the most important thing, and working it out. As in, because you could go to a lake, like, and fish. Sometimes you'd fish to what you see. You see fish show, and I use farriers as an example. You'd see them down on the road bank all the time. I caught nothing off it, ever. Yeah, at the other end, peg 15, you'd hardly see a fish show up there. You go up there doing that, just tank off like a few hours after you put your bait in. But then you just have to. You just got to learn your lake, especially syndicate fishing. If you can, like, really, if you're going to spend, say, like 2 or 3 seasons on the same place. Like, I remember farriers, the first year I think I caught 1 8-pounder off the top. When it was like, after it spawned out as one of the stockies. It was like, and then the second year I think I had 2 fish. And then the third year, once we figured it out how to fish it, the mentality of the fish.
Yeah.
Because they are huge fish and they're well aware of, like, what bait is, boilies, pellets. They're aware that they're being fished for, but they're also in tune where they've not been, like, fed like, say, other venues where they've had no supplemented feed. They're well aware of finding their own food. So, like, I don't know, bloodworms, snails, whatever.
Yeah.
And when you can get your fishing right, and that was a venue that, like, we emptied it.
You actually caught that many fish there that people started saying that you were using things that you weren't allowed to use, and that was when the whole hormone thing started, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like, not good. Like that is, But once you, and like, we put so much effort into your fishing. So when we figured it out, the fishing was absolutely. I remember it was before one of the shows, and I packed up straight from there, went up to the show, and I'd had like 20 30s and 5 40s in a week, like in like 48 hours fishing.
Yeah,
like it's just insane. It's
like I think you can like, obviously I know you very well, and I was talking to you throughout that time, and you were catching ridiculously, but you can almost see why people were saying he must be using something that nobody else has access to, because you and Kev were catching streaks and streaks ahead of what anyone else had ever done on there.
Yeah, there's like 100 and whatever fish in the lake. We caught 85 of them in 2 weekends. Like,
oh my days, man! Right, really? Wow.
But you literally,
that's insane.
Right, you had to be in the position, and like, it's the best fishing we've ever had.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I was trying to explain was, when you're fishing for big fish, you've really got to understand what you're fishing for. Like that farriers trip, like we went there the week before. And this peg 5, like, it's like 3 foot deep, 4 foot deep. And I stood in peg 5, and it was like a nice day, and I looked, and I went up and fished in peg 15, and like I caught out of there. But when I went back the following week, me and Kev were arguing about who's going to fish in what swim, right? And we walked in peg 5, and there was this clear spot, like 15 wraps out. Yeah. When you fish in peg 5, you fish like 19 wraps out, slightly left. And there's this clear spot, and I swear down on my kids' lives, it wasn't there the week before, right? And it was bright yellow. And he's like, "Where are you going then?" And I was like, and this fish,
you could see this glowing. You could see the spot glowing.
This fish has just gone like that, dunk right over this. No one fished it the week before, and I was like, "I'll go in here." And behind it was a weed bed, probably, I don't know, size of a tennis court.
Okay.
So you've got all these fish in this weed bed. You've got somewhere that they've chose to feed without any bait for whatever reason. And I've rocked up, and it's like I'm fishing 15 wraps. Right, I ain't being funny. My boy, he's 8. He can fish 15 wraps. So like, you know, you imagine, like you're fishing with 2 rods. You can't miss a trick. Like you chuck the first rod out, and it's like on a 6-punch. You chuck the other one, and it'll land like 6 inches left or right of that rod. So it's like 3 spods. One of them's like, "What was that?" "Oh, look, that's something we really want to eat." Trundle out the weed. None of them know that their mate's just been caught. It's like, "Where's Barry gone?" "Oh, I'll go and find him." "Oh, what's down here?" "Oh, I'll find him in a minute. I'll eat this a minute. Next minute." Do you know what I mean?
Do you think that's what carp say to each other?
Yeah.
Barry. Was it just a constant trickle of bait?
3 spods.
Yeah.
I put a bit in to start. 3 spods every
because the fish were
hour
there,
and 20
because
minutes.
they'd fed on that spot, because they'd made that spot, because there was natural larder for them there to be there. You didn't eat a stick 20 kilo in.
No.
You knew they were there. It was just like, here's something, eat that.
But over the course of 35 fish, I had 37 bites, 35 fish. Like,
why did you lose 2? I mean, come on.
Well,
and that was over a
It's quite weedy.
48-hour period.
Yeah. But once you add up, like, you know, 3 spods, say, you know, 14 ounces of bait, whatever. Well, you do that like 40 times.
Oh, you consumed a lot in the end.
Every evening you like put a little bit more out because you
Yeah.
want to put your rods out, and like, and.
But what I was going to say, but the thing, it like you make it sound very easy, right? And you go, "Oh, 15 yards out, you should be able to. Everyone should be able to put their rods 6 inches apart, blah blah." But also, like to get that many bites in quick succession and not have the fish leave you, and for the fish to stay where they were, and for you to continue catching them, like that is pretty like, Jesus Christ, how is this happening?
It's just one of those moments that you're driving home and you're like,
"Wow,
that just happened." But then you could go, so like going back to like understanding what you catch, then you could go to say like Grenville.
You're a good job Barry wasn't a snitch, mate, or he'd have gone
Yeah,
straight back.
mate.
He told
Yeah.
the rest, and you were screwed.
And you were fishing. There's one thing I learned on there. I did 3 or 4 months one year, and then the following year I did 3 or 4 months. The thing that I learned, the biggest thing, was people following trends. You know, this swim, that's where you fish. This swim, that's what you do. This is what you do, and everybody did the same. And I think that's why I what I did out of there. That I fished it just in different areas, and
But that's
You see
modern
that
day carp fishing,
time and
though,
time
innit?
again. See it all the
it
time.
can be, and I think that is a stigma that I don't know. We need to try and edge out of it a little bit.
We've
so
said this
people-
before. That's modern day carp fishing. It's that swim, it's that tree, it's 15, 16, 18 wraps, whatever. And everyone will go in because it's the easy thing. But then occasionally somebody will angle it and do something like that. All right, that's my spot, but that looks inviting. That looks right. I'll do my own thing. And that's where you get those extra hits. Rather than catch 2 or 3 from that spot, you've gone and done your own thing. When the conditions are right, you've read it right, you've done it correctly, you've angled it yourself, and then suddenly
I
you've
think
ended up
once
with
people put
38.
a bit of bait at a spot, they don't want to move their rods around. And I'd say one of the biggest things I've found over recent years is fishing short zigs over your baited area. Carp, they just keep themselves aware of where the food is, where their food source is, by swimming around round and round the lake. And I'll tell you, the amount of times I see them, certainly on margin spots, swimming 3-4 foot over the top of it all the time.
You see it on the underwaters all the time.
They don't swim on the bottom, do
they do not swim on the bottom.
No,
they don't.
no.
They're swimming.
They spend so little time
2-3
on the
foot
bottom, yeah.
above,
Well,
and then they drop down on the
over my
spot.
baited area during the day, I put a 3-foot zig, 2 rods on it, however much bait is there, and in the night I'll put my little stiff link pop-ups back at it, whatever, and fish that way. But that has caught me so many bonus
You
fish.
still
now.
swim mid-water at night?
Huh? Yeah, they do, but I think
Right.
what I've asked them to do is come down and get a bit interested in what I've got on the bottom. And while they're down there kicking the ass out of eating, I think I'm more likely to catch them. Yeah, you could probably leave zigs there over the top of it, but then I think you're in, like you could start foul looking them if you got zigs over the top of bait. And anyway, there's lots of things to think about. But it's a thought. It's something I've done that works very well.
Like I've always been a massive fan of, like, especially if you're open water fishing, like, if you're fishing to an island, a channel, and a tree down the edge or whatever, you'd split your rods up. But like, if you plumb up in your swim, and you're, say, for example, fishing open water, like, I wouldn't,
One spot.
unless you were fishing off the bottom, like, say, maybe on a zig or whatever as well. But you would I'd always look for the best area that you could present your bait for a fish to feed, because, like, why they'd want to try and, like, dig their food out of some, like, candy floss or load of onion weed or whatever it may be. But if you can present your feed and fish in the best area of your swim, I think you're just stacking your chances up. Like,
Yeah, you want to concentrate the fish into one area so that there are more
Competition.
feeding in that space, more competition, drop the guard, better chance of.
But even if you were fishing for a solitary big fish, if you go to your peg, I don't know, everywhere else is taken, you're in this peg, it's just a desert out there. If you can plumb up and find, like, a slightly better area, really look at your swim, at where your fish are going to be coming into your swim. Like, say, if you've got an island so far out and they're going to be coming around the back of it, if they're going to come from the other side of the lake, and you position your bait, using your bait as, you're almost using the bait as your hook bait, because you're creating an area just to get them there. And then once you've got them there, whether you're fishing for 1 or 100 fish, all you got to do then is just, as soon as they're like, oh, you know, what's that? Yeah, I'll have a go there. As soon as they're on there, if you can get your hook baits right, like, you're minutes away from getting a bite from when the fish comes in your peg.
But if it's one spot, you're making sure that all that competition is one area, so you're not splitting your chances. But then also what you're doing is, if you see it on underwater, you might have a rig there and it comes in and it ejects it and spits it round. But then if there's another one there that's lying a different way and the fish has come from a different angle, then you're increasing your chances. So rather than spread your 3 traps out in different areas, if you're fishing an open water spot where you want fish to come to your bait, then it just makes logical sense to put 2 or 3 rods on that and make the most out of that spot, which is exactly what you did
100%,
at Farriers. And I assume that's what you did on this latest video, although I've only watched 10 minutes of it, so I do need to watch it.
You'll have to watch it to find out.
A lot of what we're talking about, though, it's like, I don't know, I don't want to keep living in the past, but you'd say if you one big fish. Well, in this day and age, you don't have waters that have got one big fish in, do you? You and I'm not suggesting it could be the only big fish in there, but there's going to be lots of other fish in there as well. That's the only way that people are going to make the old money out of it, isn't it? By having a load of fish in there. So angling for one big fish is a completely a different prospect to angling for one big fish in a very, very low stock lake.
Yeah.
You know, you have to, you know, I think every time we talk, and there's no detriment to anything, you know, carp fishing is a multifaceted thing, and you do it in so many ways. But we always tend to talk about free on the spot and bait the munger out of it, and yeah, there's that spot, so I baited the munger out of it, put a couple of rods on it, and it's got no, why aren't we stalking? Why aren't we surface fishing? Why aren't we climbing trees? Whatever. Bringing it for information to get the best out of it.
You're not allowed to climb trees at fisheries anymore. There's too many. You'd have to have a risk assessment.
That's the red tape.
You wouldn't be insured. They wouldn't be. Your public liability won't cover you for that.
I think that goes back to that venue thing where you said you're just turning up at this venue when it feels like it's going back in time. And when Chili's touching on that, where you could go stalking and climb trees and go and find the fish.
Doesn't that exist anymore?
No.
Most of the waters I've got tickets for right now, I can go and climb a tree.
I think for the majority of sort of I'd say popularist. Is that a word?
It is.
Popularist.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying,
popularist angling. No. Like there are venues around like small syndicates, club lakes, etc., which aren't run in the same way. But anywhere that's run with a sort of commercial side of it, which is the largest side of our industry.
No, I apologise.
You don't get that much freedom or opportunity. You get more in the winter. Like the last couple of weeks, I've had a couple of day sessions at Manor Farm, which in the summer is literally rammed out with people. It's a brilliant complex of lakes, very, very well managed and run, but it's a commercial entity. You go there now, and if like I was doing day sessions, if I'd have stayed on for the night, both times I would have been the only person on a 15-acre lake that's gin clear with fish up to 40 pounds, loads of 30s, proper lovely ones. So if you want to get that fishing from sort of slightly more open access venues, then I suppose you need to go fishing in the winter.
In the hard months.
But people don't, which is why those places exist.
Yeah.
We live in a world now where everything's got to be a click away, or if you've got to walk 4 foot out from parking the car up, it's like. Effort.
Well, you've seen that with you've seen that with your fishery.
For God's sake.
I mean, your fishery has always been a commercial entity, and you're constantly changing and improving it. But from when, if we were having this conversation 10 years ago, your fishery was a lot different then to what it is now.
It's horrific. My fishery is like generally horrific because
it's only horrific for you. For the people that you make it for, it's amazing.
Yeah,
shout it out, Bart. Jesus,
sell your own.
Trying to sell
back that drum, mate.
It's great. Like it's everything that the fishermen want.
That's it.
They bowl up. They pull up behind their peg. They've got to probably walk from here to the door.
They know what peg they're fishing
to a cabin. They got a light. They're bone dry all weekend. They don't, do you know what I mean? Same with the match lake, with our course fishing lake. Same thing. It's got road all the way around. Half of them don't even turn up with a trolley now. Match fishing. We've actually got like 2 trolleys that are just left by the cabin. So if they draw on the island, they can go and pinch the trolley and take their gear over to the island. And you just live in a world of convenience. Like, whatever food you get.
We can't moan about that. We've done it before. Talk about carp fishing now as it wasn't what it was 20 years ago, but nothing's going to be what it is in 20 years' time. No. Things evolve, things are changing, and you're catering for what your clientele need. But there's lakes where you can go and do what you've just done.
You can, like that syndicate film.
It's all still there.
Yeah.
So I quite often see a lot of negativity going towards these kind of venues. Just embrace them. For me, it's great because that caters for loads of people that leave room elsewhere on other lakes. And so it's like, well, fine. Just let people do what they want to do. We'll go off and do what we want to do. Find different waters, quiet waters, fish in the winter, small stock, big stock, whatever. Club water, syndicates, day tickets. It doesn't matter, does it? You find the fishing you want to do and just let everybody else do what they want to do.
I just want to just to put my last bit into that. It's not that I don't like it. What I don't like is the fact that people don't get what they could get out of carp fishing. You know, the thrill of the chase, seeing the fish doing the things that you want to do, to keep doing that on dating, well, you don't learn anything.
I think to be fair, Chili, like the people who are doing that type of fishing, that is their thrill of the chase. Yeah. Like you've got quite a high bar set, right? You were in the army jumping out of bloody planes, like that sort of thrill seeking, like not thrill seeking, it was your job, but that level is quite high. And then when you come in to carp fishing at the level you did, fishing Horton, you know, fishing all those places back in the 90s when like it was really hard, but when you caught one, it was like a ridiculous buzz. Fire, yeah. Like you're never gonna sort of regress.
I don't think you'll ever get it back. What I'm saying is, people to get into a thing where you could drive your car to the back of the swim, plop them out. It's 11 wraps in this swim, so I'm going to fish to 11 wraps. Plop, plop, plop. With a couple of rods, get the telly on. You know, put a tent up to do the cooking in. And to me, the more you do of that, the less you're taking in the environment you're fishing in. Looking at the wildlife, watching what the carp are actually doing in the lake, which might not help you there because you've had to book the swim. But next time you go, you might be able to get. Do you know what I mean?
I'm totally with you.
I'm not being horrible about it.
No, you're the type of you're a different breed. So like with you've spent a lot of your life living in your own mind. So the thing that you've been competing against is yourself. You've been setting your own bar. Whereas a lot of these people, it's like. And, you know, when I say my fishing is horrific, obviously it's a nice place to fish. So I should just put that out. Anyone's welcome. You'll have a lovely time. You'll be clean. You'll catch some nice fish. You can have a shower.
You'll tell them the spots.
Yeah, I'll tell you where to catch them.
The trees are now trimmed.
I'm actually doing a video tomorrow with Ben fishing my place. So, you might have some Fox content to watch on it.
0 views.
Yeah. Absolute dump. Right. But you've lived in your mind for a lot of your life, and when you go fishing, it's like I got to catch that. I got to catch that. You know, and all right, some of the venues weren't about. You couldn't go and catch like 20, 30s in a weekend, whatever, right? Because for whatever reason, so you have competed against yourself all that time, and it's a personal reward for you to catch what you catch because you've outwitted that singular fish, and you know, and you've achieved your own goals. And a lot of people now, like we live in a busy world now, like everyone is working flat out, everyone is just, I wouldn't say they're like, not everyone's like stressed to the max, but like these people, you know, and fishermen is no different whether they go fishing, play golf, I don't know, badminton, whatever it may be, but it's just escapism. Is that like, you know,
100%.
Like,
and badminton was well stressful.
And it's not necessarily like escapism can be like many different things. So yes, escapism can be being totally out in the wild, taking in the birds, watching the water, this, that, and the other. But escapism can also be chucking the rods out, sitting down on a bed with a not like a nice duvet that's been freshly cleaned last night, and kicking up, watching some TV, then getting a bite, winding in and catching a 20 pounder, which could be their PB, or having a chance to catch a 30 pounder. You know, that's. I think that's it for a lot of people. Is just having a nice weekend.
It's a multitude of things in carp fishing, and all I think is that I'd like people as happy and whatever they are with what they're doing to try and broaden their horizons a little bit for their own benefit. It ain't for my benefit. I'm not saying it for my benefit.
They possibly might do. They do that bit that gets their little bit of escapism, and then they go, "Oh, actually, I'm going to go and try something a bit different." And I think they probably will do when they feel they've got the time to do that.
I think I think with it as well, you can't miss what you've never had.
Yes,
and that's the main thing. You know, and that's the thing. You've never experienced it, you can never miss it. So, but I get what you're trying to say. You're trying to say, "Oh, guys, you know how good it could be." But that is something they may stumble across later when they get invited to a certain syndicate and they get on and things like that. Great, God, this has been a great chat so far on bits and pieces, and we could go on forever on this. With the time of year at the moment, spring is just around the corner, so I want to get into sort of spring fishing. Before I do that, I haven't
seen that meme come up. That meme where someone puts up literally a spring around a corner. Normally you get that on Facebook. You've never seen that.
No, I've not seen that.
I'll find it and I'll
it.
send it
We'll
to
put
you.
it
You
up.
can put it
We'll
up.
put
Other
it up.
people definitely know what I'm talking about.
Meme.
Oh, did he?
There
Nice.
you go. It
Yeah,
started.
yeah.
So it's starting. So people have got one eye on spring now. They are dusting the gear off. So while Bartman is here, we want to get into sort of spring tactics. Before I do that, I just want to take it back to this solid angling and the big hit you had. I just want to touch base on your rigs that you were sort of flinging out there and taking it apart, particularly the use that you've been playing with and toying with for the last sort of 12 months, our heli clips. How are you finding them? How are you getting on with them? How have sort of you found it to make your own angling a bit easier and better?
Yeah, like with the heli, like so unless I'm fishing, say, a solid bag, I've probably used a leg clip for 99.999999% of my fishing.
Yeah.
And one of the rules for Carpathia was you can use a heli clip on a lead-free leader, or you had to use, if you use the leg clip, you had to use tubing.
Yeah.
So, and obviously when you're fishing, like, so it's level line casting, so no built-in leaders, no shock leaders, no knots. So it's level line. And like when you're trying to fish out sort of like 170 yards or 150 yards in a side wind, sometimes like it's difficult. So like using tubing sometimes, especially if if you're going to put like 6 inches of tubing on, there's no point in putting it on. So you've got to use a decent length of tubing.
Yeah.
But with like obviously being able to use the heli clip on a lead-free leader was, and the rigs we're using, like little stiff rigs over gravel spots, like nice clean bottom fishing, it's just like the perfect combination. So yeah, using it on the little submerged leaders.
But I think you much prefer using like a leader than tubing. I think that was your sort of like key thing. You'd have rather been using a leader than use tubing. So you're like, well, I'll just use some helicopter rigs. That was pretty much it, wasn't it?
Because if you don't know where you're fishing or what you're doing, or like 1 minute you're filming over there, next minute you're doing this, next minute you're going to that lake, like when you've got to sit there and like thread the tubing or whatever, I wouldn't say it's like aggro, but when you've just got 3 neatly stored heli clips curled up in your tackle box, and it's just
you can loop to loop on.
Yeah, you can just loop it on and fire it out in the pond. It's like why wouldn't you be using it?
Well, you don't enjoy threading tubing?
Who does? Who does?
I was thinking though the other day, the line stripper.
Yeah.
Do you think you could put the line through the line stripper into the end of the tubing and then press the button and it would just push it through?
Oh, there's a hack.
There you go.
Cheers. I like it.
Especially because you can with ours you can control it, the speed on the wheel.
So you could just so instead of sitting there like,
here you go.
Do you know
Someone's
what I
going
mean?
to try
So
that
just
and let us know.
That is good.
just buzz it through.
It's good.
That's a good idea, man. I like that. This could be a good one.
Yeah.
As long as it's clean,
There's
dry,
a lot of
tubing
waters that
straight out
don't
of the
allow
packet.
leader tied on. It's got to be tubing, hasn't it?
Yeah,
You're going to have something like that.
So
That's interesting. That is interesting.
yeah.
And a fan of the pink corn as well, I noticed as well, mate. On the old,
you got to have a little pink hook bait out with your baited area.
it's all about the pink.
Oh God!
But you were fishing on gravel spots, were you?
There was a couple of the spots that I fished were like when we started fishing them, they were sort of just like a deep, smooth silt. They were really clean. But I mean, by the time me and Trev pulled in 150 kilos of bait over a spot, the course of a few sessions.
People are going to be picking off.
It's like chucking it on that brick wall. Yeah.
So, but is that you? Did you both fish it in the? Is that 150 kilos in the lead up to that filming, or are these spots you've created over the last couple of seasons?
Yeah, they were areas that were getting fished, but not. I don't know. Like me and Kev are just a nightmare for sticking in bait.
You're like a bucket as default, aren't you?
So pretty much every session, probably bar that recent video, we'd probably stick 2 17-litre buckets out to start. It's savage.
Stop.
Like
How
that's a lot of
how
bait.
far?
It's a lot.
Anywhere from, well, like I think the shortest we fished is probably like 27 wraps. So like,
Yeah, that's 3 hours of spotting.
yeah. But we would literally, you'd set up and you'd be like, right.
I sort of worked it out. A 17-litre bucket at over 100 yards is about an hour and a half.
Okay.
Right.
That's 3 hours of spotting.
I need Wilson.
Yeah.
270. That's mad, mate. Fair play.
But like,
But
it's-
mate,
But you didn't use that much. You didn't use that much for the session.
No, so
So why was that?
because when I fished there in the October and I caught 3, I put too much bait out.
Yeah.
I went up and had a trip. I think it was late October, and yeah, I went in a bit strong. So
A bit strong.
yeah, I asked Rich. I said, "Can the bailiff take me out in the boat?" And I took my GoPro and I stuck it on the floor and pulled it up after I finished fishing.
There was still
It was slicking about 3 weeks later. Like,
Oh dear.
it'd be like the M5 now in there, but it like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So it
interesting,
probably didn't do
Yeah.
another bite because of that until you went back.
It's been that peg's been the best peg this winter. It's done the most fish. Well, it wasn't the same.
Because you pre-baited for
prepped
everyone.
It wasn't the same peg that I fished in the video. It was like opposite. And
Oh yeah, you tried to steer well clear of
I
that.
was like, going around the other side.
It's great to hear. For me, someone who I used to use an awful lot of bait. I still
I thought
do,
you were about
I
to
think.
say it's great to hear you fucked it up. It's great to hear
I
you.
did that more times than you can ever imagine, mate. But it's another side of fishing you don't hear a lot of people talking about. That amount of bait is incredible. And they think it'll take a week for carp to eat it all.
With angling, it's so specific to when you're there fishing that day, because you
Yeah.
could go to the same peg
Yeah.
the next day and it'd be devoid of fish. You could go to the same peg the next day and the wind spun and every
And
man.
that's flexibility that catches you the carp.
Yeah,
That's
so
it.
like-
exactly. I
And you know, like when you try, like, you know, and there's a lot of people creating a lot of content saying you should do this, you should do that, do this in the spring, do that in the spring. But the thing that will catch you the most fish is being responsive to what you see. Yeah. Like, you know, like you said, like what, you know, watching the water, climbing the trees, seeing how the fish are behaving. Like you have to, like, you just got to sort of all those percentages, and you know, like 9 times out of 10, if you don't see any carp showing, it's going to be tough on the ground. If you walk in the gate at 7 o'clock and like you turn up half an hour before light, and by 9 o'clock you'd have seen half a dozen fish show. Mate, he's had a bite over there. The bloke next to him's caught one. 3 are showed out in the middle of the pond or whatever. You know where you're going. You've seen what you needed to see.
Yeah.
Everything else is all you know. Is all you got to find out is when he's going.
Yeah.
When
Well,
you're off.
that's angling. We said this
When are you off,
before.
mate? Hurry up.
Or which swing you can get out.
We said this before. It's angling. You know, there's never been a time like present where you've got so much information available to you, and people almost have that default. I've got to go there. 11 rats. Blah blah blah. But that's the difference between somebody who's going to catch a couple and somebody who angles it correctly, reads the situation, and they're the 10%ers. They're the ones that have the hits, catch the big fish and all of that. The information's out there for everybody, but then the anglers have got to be able to interpret that information and use it in the correct situation, scenario, conditions or whatever. And that's the difference.
Yeah.
It's an
1000%.
awful situation sometimes I've been a writer for 30 odd years, you know, writing things, and people sort of, you know, the diaries I used to write in the magazines, and people would always comment on what I'd been saying, and I forgot what I was going to say now. What were you saying? I was going to say something.
Well, just the
gone out of my head.
information's there. Loads of
Yeah,
information's
it's
there.
the
for
information
people.
there, and I just think people, their lives are different to mine. I can go fishing on a Monday morning and I come home on a Wednesday. Yeah, that is different to 99% of the people out there that you're writing things for to help them get the best from it, and it's a difficult situation to try and bridge that gap. But I think again, somebody who talks about bait like you do, and then somebody would come along like Harry using solid bags and whatever, and it's interesting, but to me, it tells me that bait is a very, very important part of the equation.
If I was like, I know, like we joked about the food, like that's really important. It's borderline with your bait, like, but you know, no different. If you were going roach fishing, you'd want the best emp and the best casters. If you were going feeder fishing, you'd want the best ground bait. Like your bait is the first thing in the van. Yeah. No different to like back when we was fishing all the matches, and especially if you're competition fishing. Like if you're taking 1 gallon, I'm taking 2 because I want to beat you, and you know that it's like healthy competition. Like when we fish the matches, we're all friends. We all fish against each other. But
you ain't saying what you've got in the van, are you?
No, but I'm also like, do you know what I mean? I'm not letting you going to do me just because I've turned up and I ain't got enough bait. Yeah. But like.
But we're all different people, aren't we?
But this is the thing.
You're
I think
talking about competitive nature. I haven't got one. And you spoke
that
about
is
me
not
in my mind.
true. No, I do not believe that at all.
You might not want to compete against everybody else, but you compete against yourself. Like,
that's what I feel I'm doing. I'm sorry if it looks like I'm trying to batter everybody else into the ground, but which I've never done. But no, I like to think I'm doing it for myself. I'm competing against myself. But yeah, competitive nature. You see, you've done a lot of match fishing. I had done very, very little of it, and such big events. They were such good fun. You know, the fishing was a sort of secondary part of it, I think. But no, that must teach you a lot about applying bait at 5 hours. Are you talking about match fishing with your maggots and your end, you know, roach and bleak and stuff like that?
Just all of it. Like I have, but yeah, I've just grown up fishing. Just like like you know. If you look at match fishing, like wanting to win and all of that, you go carp fishing, you have a rubbish session, and you're driving home and you're like, that was crap. But you're driving home, you know that you needed to be on the other side of the lake, doing something else, right? And you're like, I have got to go back and put that right.
Yes,
I cannot leave that, right? And so then you're like, I don't know. If you say like, me, for example, you're working outside, you know that you want to go back and you can't let it lie. Yeah. So no matter, you got it in your head that you ain't going to do that job on Monday because like I ain't having that, right? So like, I've got to find 3 days off here somewhere where the weather's coming in pretty good. Like, I ain't going to be able. You kid yourself. You're like, I'm not going to be able to do that concrete path on Monday. I'm better off sacking it off and going fishing. But you go fishing, catch an absolute hatful, have the best session ever, and you drive out the gate and you're like, that was mint.
Concrete path's going to be the bollocks when I do it first.
No, it won't be getting done because you'd be driving back going, that was mint. I got to go back and do that again. Like,
do you think, talking about match fishing and roach and bleak and whatever, that a lot of people miss out in this day and age on not having done any other fishing other than fishing for carp?
Don't think anyone's missed out on bleak fishing.
No, but I speak to so many people, that's all they've done. So many people, they've done no other kind of fishing. And I think very, very often the people, I mean, I grew up in your neck of the woods, down in Somerset, through Taunton, and that's where I live, Hindon, Salisbury. And there were no carp. There was nothing. All I could fish for pike, everything but carp.
Yeah, loads of fish.
And I think that taught me the fundamentals of fishing. And I think a lot of people miss out on that. And because it's easy to walk in a shop and then buy a load of gear and go carp fishing. I think I've never done it. Of course I haven't. But I think fishing itself, you talk about other kinds of fishing. You have all the time.
But they're not
I've ever
impressive,
met you.
are they? For somebody who's never been before, and someone goes like that, check that out. It's like, it doesn't exactly light your fire, does it? But if you go, check that out, it's like, Jesus.
If I was going like that and it was a £2.5 pound, £3 roach, then yes.
Yeah, but
there would be a little plume of flames coming out of my
Because
head.
you would appreciate a £2.5 roach. Because somebody who's never been fishing before, you show them that or show them that, and they're going to go, I'm going to want to go and do that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference.
But I think again, it's more about your sort of attitude to your fishing. Bart is like ridiculously prolific because of how competitive he is, because and that's competitive against everybody else, against himself. Like he always wants to catch. So if he's going roach fishing, like on a river with a stick float, he'll want to catch more than Kev, who he's gone with, or more than his boy. like that's what he's like. He goes like he does matches catching skimmers. Like he's just like ridiculously competitive, and that's what makes him so good. And that's if you're that competitive, you will do what it takes to work out how to catch them. And then once you've done that, then you catch 85 carp out of farriers in 2 weeks.
I think there's a lot of different people as well. Like when a lot of people are in different positions. When you look at like people that are within, like say the angling trade, to compare to people that don't work in the angling trade, like everyone that goes fishing loves fishing. Undoubtedly, they wouldn't go, would they? Yeah. They're not like, oh yeah, I hate fishing, but I'm going to go on Friday. Right? Everybody loves fishing to a certain degree, but few people live fishing. Even the people, say like, look at everyone that works in this building. They like fishing to a degree. Even like all the girls and the lads that work in the office behind the scenes doing all the paperwork or whatever it may be. But very few people live fishing. But when you live around fish and water and all you're doing is looking, like I work every day. I probably fish more than what most people would ever believe. Did I say more or less?
More.
No, that's wrong. I fish less than what most people would believe. But I live in a different environment. I could be doing something around the fishery 5 days a week, but I'm sat there watching 15 blokes fish on there for big carp, watching 30 blokes over there fish 3 times a week for carp and other fish. I know, I see what I need to see for when I go fishing for the time that I go leading up to it. And like I said, if 9 times out of 10, if you see a fish boshing, there's a bite or two to be on the cards. If it's bleak, looking dreadful, nothing, chances are it's going to be a crap session. But when you live in fishing and you got like you said, all the information's there. Well, when you're mates with loads of top anglers, and I don't know, he's fished there the week before you're going there. So, like you can't help be in the position that you're in, because you spoke to the bailiff. He knows that the 2 lads on the point had 30 fish on the weekend, and so-and-so caught 20 fish on site. Like, so you know the tactics, you know the pegs. You can't help. You're just surrounded it. And if you're,
if you don't have those, if you're not in it the same, you don't have the same sort of. It's not advantages like, oh, you get free bait, oh, you get free tackle. It's advantages in knowledge, isn't it?
Knowledge is power, isn't it? It's that old thing. Yeah.
To the guy that's driving to the lake after work on a Friday, because he's using up 3 days of his holiday that he's had to book 3 months in advance, and he's going there because his mate's going there, so they've had to book peg 9 and 10, but all the fish are down in 2. Like they're on the back foot, but you can't. You've just got to love fishing for like what it is, and like you've just got to try and stack the odds in your favour. Like I've always said, I've never promised. Like I've worked all my life, and no different to, doing the stuff that I do for like Fox. If you can only do what you can do, and you've got to take from it. Like if you're happy doing 40 blank nights a year, because you've only got 40 days holiday, but you never got a chance of catching fish because you can't be there when it's fishing, blah, blah, blah. But if I've got 7 days, I'll go to France, I don't know, go to Zayaki, whatever. You've got a week off, happy days, holiday, great big fish. Wonderful. If you've got a 4-nighter, you're going to go to the syndicate, you're going to try and catch a 40-pounder. If you've got 48 hours, you might go to Horseshoe. Yeah. You might go to Linear. You might do something like that where you're going to catch, get a few bites, maybe get a 30-pounder. If you fish the right lake and the weather's good, you might get 40. If I've got, a weekend, I might do a night on my place. If I've got a day, I might go and fish. I might even go and fish for bream. Like, I might go and fish a match.
As long as you're fishing, you're
like,
happy by the sounds of it.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And
You're
if I haven't got
getting that
any
fix.
time at all and I've only got a couple of hours, I'll be mugging one off the top in the car park, like, after work. Like, but
You say mugging one?
yeah, mugging, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just shanking them off in the scum down the edge in the summer. Do you know what I mean? But like that, and that's all you can take from fishing. Like, if you try and compete with someone and compare what you're catching to someone else, like, you're finished.
Yeah, it'll beat you up on it.
Like, it will destroy you.
Absolutely drive you under.
Mate, I've got some questions from our syndicate members who've put quite a few out this week that I wanted to ask you, so I've sort of cherry-picked the best ones. Before I get to them, quickly, can you give me your top 3 spring tactics? Going into spring, people are dusting the kit off. What advice would you be giving those people?
Get in the right area, solid bag, and a zig.
There you go. Anything would you add to that, H?
You wanted a bit more conversation about that.
Okay, and, right, moving on.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't add too much to that. To be fair, when you say get in the right area, like that, that's probably the thing that people are most likely to get wrong. Like, obviously, use your eyes, try and find the fish. Like, they will be more active. The warmer it gets, the more active they will get.
Yeah, they'll be giving it barrio badouche for sure.
Yeah.
And,
Spend the time.
yeah.
So if you got 8 hours, don't spend 15 minutes choose a swim and then spend 7 hours 45 minutes fishing for them. If it means you've got to look for them for 3 hours, but you find them, or 4 hours or 5 hours, and you find them, that's much better use of your
As
time.
Walker
than
said,
fishing
5 hours,
blind.
1 hour in the right place is worth 5 hours in the wrong.
Yeah, but even though you said earlier you're a nightmare for putting 2 17-litre buckets out.
Yeah,
when
we'll do that in the
does
spring.
that start? That's not quite yet, is
No,
it?
that starts the second week of May, but
Second week of May,
First
yeah.
week of May, but no, like that sounds like I sort of like knew the question before I was going to be asking, but it's not. Like in the spring, location is key. Like and fishing the fish. I don't think they love the sunshine in the spring, so be very particular in where you go and fishing. Like if you're going to go and fish a 40-foot deep lake that doesn't allow zigs, then like don't bother. Like
Yeah.
go to a venue like that is sort of like moderate in depth, or try and get in a, you know, those fish will be up in the layers, maybe in some shallow water.
Moving to the margins.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking for the sun.
It's
Trap fish.
versatility. I think
don't
that's
fill
the
it
one
in.
word. You have to be adaptable to whatever you're faced with. There are times of year, as Mark obviously lends himself to, where he knows he can go in, as long as he's found where he wants to be, and whack a bit of bait in and create an area. You can create a feeding area. But yeah, the spring, I think you've got to be a little bit more delicate with it, but be versatile. You know, Harry said, have your spods, have a stalking rod, have a surface rod, anything, and then you can adapt to the situations as they arise. And that's all I'd say for the spring, I think.
Singles, solids, sunshine. Not many spawns. We can do S's. It's all about the S.
Sigs.
Shallow.
Six.
But it, isn't it?
Sigs.
You know,
Yeah.
be mobile, singles, solid bags, little tiny bits of bait, trap fishing, margins. They're wanting
Yeah.
to start to look towards get to the margins or shallower features in the lake.
If you get some low pressure and a nice bit of wind and sort of overcast, like there'll be opportunities over bait. But for all of that other time, you know, in the summer you can put bait out almost any time, and at some point during, especially early morning, they're going to come and have a feed on it. But you can't do that in the spring. If you've got high pressure and you've put half a bucket out, you've just murdered yourself.
And generally, there's no weed, so they're open waters, the open spots. They can easily move off. They've got no comfort next to them. Like you said, you were fishing to that clear spot with weed behind. That weed behind was the comfort. It kept the fish there. They didn't feel pressured away. You probably couldn't do exactly the same as that if it was completely open, because those fish would just push away.
Yeah,
you
and
go.
those areas when you get to like mid March, early April, those areas of like fresh weed growth,
Yeah.
can be so good, so good. And like things like solids, singles with like on a heli with your bead like high up, that sort of thing can be really, really good. But it's all like we're saying. Like Bart said 3 things at the start, and now we've added loads. But like Chili says,
similar.
It's versatility.
Yeah. All right, mate. So we're going to fire in some of these syndicate questions for you very quickly. So we've got Jason Palmer with the first one. What is your favourite bait to use going into the spring?
I thought you was going to say what's my favourite moisturiser then. But
There was a lot of that. There was a few of those asking about do you moisturise your hands?
Yeah.
No.
so can't say that.
What is your favourite bait to use going into the spring?
Probably something really easy for them to feed on. So micro pellets, bit of boilie crumb, something they can see. So they can see it, so they can smell it. So maybe put some corn in there, maybe a few red maggots if you like something. So you just got something really nice and easy for them to feed on. Plenty of smell and like factor, but not like a lot of food.
Right.
You know what
Okay.
I mean? So yeah, and then like you can, if that, like obviously I'm talking like when I talk like that, it's just like I'm going to fill it in with a spom again, because obviously that sort of bait you'd put in a spom, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, like even if you're fishing to say like a set of snags, just trickling in a bit of corn, something like that would be really good. Just something, yeah.
That's why Bart likes fishing in the autumn. So means you can fill it in.
Just tank
Get
it
those
into
buckets
it.
out. Steve Currier would like to ask, if you were new to carp fishing, what rigs would you master first, and how would you go about using said rigs?
Just look at something that you can put any bait on that will cover you for any situation. So like just a nice sort of a nice supple hook length that you could put any sort of bag on. Whether you can pull the bag, like for example, even if you're fishing over weed and you were using just like a nice supple braided rig, you could tie that with like a little rig ring on the back, and then you could just tie whatever bait you want to change, almost like, you know, like a hair rig as such, but like a standard hair rig. But if you've got a little ring, you can put any bait on there, whether it be in different sizes, but also you can fish it with like little bags you can pull your hook link through. If you've got soft bait in your bag, you could use it still for a stringer, and just don't overcomplicate it. Like the easiest thing to say would be to say like a spinner rig, but then because spinner rigs are a great rig and they catch an awful lot of fish, but for someone getting into fishing, they're also quite complicated and you need a lot of components. But I would keep it quite simple, just nice white, like a standard wide gape hook, and just keep it nice and basic. Either a little inline lead, so then you could just put that rig straight into a solid bag. You could hook a mesh bag on, whatever you want to do. If you want to put a zig on, you could put longer hook length on.
Buy a ready rig.
You could buy a ready rig.
Could buy a ready rig.
Could buy a ready rig with a nice little liner on.
Yeah.
But yeah, just keep it nice and simple and really focus on just putting that rig in the right place.
It's never been easier, has it? The quality of ready rigs nowadays, and the quality of ready tied leaders nowadays, means all you got to do is tie your line on the end of a leader, and hook a rig on,
and put your hook bait on.
And there's never been shops have never been full of as much good bait as there is these days. Things these we give it a little bit of a slating earlier on, but carp fishing's never been as good as it is now for the ease of the masses to enjoy it.
Yeah. Next one, we've got Daniel White. Obviously owning the fishery, what is the biggest thing he sees negatively that impacts people fishing?
Silence.
Tough one.
I'd probably say just watching the water.
Yeah.
Like like I said, my place, we get a lot of people come in, they book their swim weeks in advance because that's when their holiday is, that's when their route or shift or whatever is on. But very rarely does anybody come in the office and go, I'm booked in peg 5, but they're all showing in 12. Can I move? Like they will just rabbit hole into going into that peg because that's where they've booked. And they wouldn't. It's not whether they see the fish showing and they know that it should be over there or not. But they just, for whatever reason, they wouldn't ever, even though they're booked in, say, peg 5, they wouldn't ever go for a walk round and just see if there's somewhere better for them to fish. And, you know, and I'm not I wouldn't say it's like detrimental, like or like trying to dig
Well, it
anyone
is
out.
if they're there. If they're in a different swim, they can catch
sorry,
them.
not no, but I mean like as in I'm digging the anglers out.
No.
Because
But that's your answer in the question that was asked.
Everyone enjoys their fishing, but just open your eyes. Like when you're fishing, stay off your phone. Watch the water. There was a bloke fishing yesterday, and I was working around the fishery, and I seen 2 fish show yesterday, and I asked him, I said, "Oh, did you see those fish show earlier?" And he was like, "No." He sat there on a chair outside the cabin. It's like, mate, it's like someone throwing a breeze block in. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I seen it. I was like 300 yards away, and it's like, but just open your eyes, walk round, and just generally ask yourself a question: am I in the best position that I could be in to catch a fish from this lake right now? Like that is a really simple thing, and you just open your eyes, have a walk around.
Yeah,
totally.
And
Be
last
mobile.
one, mate. Mobile, yeah, that's the one, isn't it? Mobile. And watch the water. Last one from Ryan Sevier. When you are fishing the competitions, what is your mindset, and do you still get nervous?
Yeah, everyone gets a bit nervous, don't they? And like fishing, I love it.
Yeah.
Like we all love it. All of us sort of like, you know, whether it's like fishing for England, there's always like anticipation around the draw. Whether you're gonna have, I mean, you're right.
What are you talking about?
In the flyer mind, don't you? Most
Never.
of the time.
Oh, drawback.
Yeah.
I make it the flyer through
Hard work and sheer determination.
angling ability.
But yeah, we do get nervous. Well, I certainly, yeah. It's just you do get to the point because of the build up, especially like some of the bigger competitions. It's like you almost get to the point where it's like, oh come on, I want to get on with it now.
Yeah.
Like let's have it. And but yeah, I do love the competition fishing. I'm not too sure on so much on the UK scene now. Like certainly like the World Championships and some of the sort of continental matches they're awesome.
I think unfortunately the UK scene has taken a bit of a hit, hasn't it, in the last year or so with the British being managed incredibly poorly.
That's coming back, isn't it?
So the angling trust, everyone has taken it over, but I think there's a lot of work that competition fishing in the UK needs to do to win back trust, because the previous owners of the British have not paid an awful lot of people either prize money or paid them back for events that have been cancelled, and so now there's a lot of people who just aren't joining them, which is a great shame, because it was a brilliant scene, and I think it's been pretty ruined.
I think
I don't know whether that's
it all depends on.
That's sad.
There's a lot of different things, like because with the sort of like the UK competition scene is, for me, it's got to be really sort of, the older you get and the more you enjoy your fishing and that sort of thing, you still want to enjoy it. Like, I wouldn't say that I'm not hungry for UK competition fishing, but also like you want to be fishing places that you want to fish, catching fish that you want to fish, and like the older I get, there's sort of more. I'm like 42 now this year, but mate,
you've also you have been there and done it. You won back-to-back British champs. Like when you've been there and done it, and then you see like you say the venues changing and maybe the sort of vibe around it going. I guess I'm sort of talking from my own experience as well, but I hope I'm not talking out of turn for you. Like when it's not quite the same, and you've been right at the top and you've had that amazing success, it's kind of like, is it? Yeah, do I need to carry on doing it, or is there other things that I can do in my fishing? Can I take myself in other directions that I haven't done that will be just as exciting or more exciting? Which obviously you're still doing the Worlds. I know you're doing.
Your fishing is always changing, isn't it? Where you want to fish, how you fish, like that sort of thing. Like for me now, like my boy Rupert, he's just starting to like, properly get into his fishing. So watching him, it's like give it a couple of years, I'll be like reliving me. I'll be like
again,
back looking through,
man.
30 years ago. So
nice.
Like that would be mega. So again, my fishing will probably change a bit more then. Might get him a bait boat.
Good man.
But no, like so. Yeah, but any competition, like, and when you fish and you fish like, and some of the competition fishing that I've done, we've had it good. I've been right up there at the top, like for a long period of time, and when you're like that, you're sort of like, it's for you to lose it. No, everyone else that like. They're looking at you like they want to beat you.
You're the target.
I don't go into a competition thinking like, I want to beat. I do want to beat everyone else, but my mindset is just like, I just want to win that.
Yeah.
I don't think about the other 11 pairs that are in the qualifier. I'm just like, I want to win it.
Yeah.
Whereas like they might be all thinking, I'd love to beat him. They're not.
Yeah. That's it. Even if they didn't qualify, but if they finished in front of you, it's like, I'll be
sorted them out.
Smashed up Bartlett, yeah.
Yeah, like.
So nerves still play a part, no matter what.
I wouldn't say it to your face.
Yeah. And nerves are a good thing. I think nerves are a good thing in any competition. I think it makes you push yourself a little bit and everything.
And maybe that's like why I don't fish so much now, like because if I wanted to fish them, like I'm either in or I'm not. So I'm either going in fishing like most qualifiers, all the matches, being bang on it, or I'm not.
Yeah.
And like I'm happy if it's my choice not to do it, then fair enough. But like if I'm in 110 and I'm turning up with like $3,000 worth of bait and you're having it, like
28 buckets.
Yeah,
No, that's good. That's good. That is good, man. Guys, all these questions have come from our syndicate page, which is Fox's official online community group. If you want to get involved, the description or the link will be in the YouTube comments. YouTube comments. So hit that link. That will take you over to Facebook, and then you can become a member and get involved with future podcasts, our future guests, and ask some questions as well. Leading into that as well, we're going into our podcast competition now. So if you'd like to get your hands on 100 quid's worth of Fox terminal tackle, we would like to know how many buckets of bait does Bart start with on his regular sessions. Put the answer below, and also tell us, what do you like to start with as well? Do you start off with a bucket, 1 spom, 2 spoms? Put that as your answer, and that will register you into a draw where you can win these mega Fox goodies, and the draw will be done on our syndicate page. Other than that, guys, that brings to an end another podcast.
Hold on, we need to tell people to come to the Big One show. Come to the Big One show.
We do.
We're all going to be there. We are all going to be.
When's this coming out?
Before the Big One show.
Yeah, when though?
Next week.
Okay, and the big one is 2
28.
weeks after
2
that?
weeks
Yeah.
after, yeah.
Okay.
Come to the Big One show.
So we're all there, aren't we?
We're all
Yeah, we're all there.
I like how you said that.
Even
We're
Dylan's there.
here all there.
Cameron
Even I'm
Dylan's
going.
there. I think it's the first time that, like, the full team is going to be together for like 6 years.
Oh, are you?
We haven't done the UK shows for quite a long time.
Pre-COVID.
Done them properly. Like we've partnered up with some shops in a sort of
Me and
smaller.
Moz had a good time last time we went up there.
Yeah. So, but this time we're going with a full-on stand.
300 square meters.
Yeah,
Really?
Big old stand.
It's a big stand.
big old stand. You can have a go with the Frontier 2s. We'll have the heli clips. Have a few sneaky goodies that we won't have launched yet. So there's loads and loads of stuff there. Come and say
so
hello.
hard for me being 4, 5, even 6 minutes from my house.
Yeah, Chili can roll out of bed and he's there. Everyone else is
No, I'll be there. I'll
missioning
be
it
set up.
over.
Just give us a tinkle. And come
Yeah, we've got
They're all weekends.
the vast majority of our team's going to be there. Pictures, Mozza, Samir and Claire are going to be there. So yeah, it's going to be
That's
a really good time.
brilliant
So
turnout,
come and ask us about anything about carp fishing, about the products, advice, etc., tap up this man if you want to catch a load. And
Is Terry Edmonds going to be there?
Yeah, Terry Edmonds is going to be there, so punish him for casting advice.
Yeah.
And if he's taken, then speak to Bart.
I'm going to become a patient of his.
No, we're all
my
there.
aching and bending bones. I'll see if he can put me a few meters on top of what I can do at the
And
moment.
we've also got Samir and Claire, first time in 6 years they're doing a UK show. They've been in the UK for 6 years, so they'll be on the stand as well. So yeah, it is literally the whole consultant team. So
Pretty much what we had at Den Bosch. People might have seen some videos. We'll be there at the big one.
Nice.
So yeah, pretty much all the new products that we launched last year, plus a few bits that we've launched already this year, and a few. There'll be a selection of rods there, a bit of luggage there.
Leave a lot landing nets.
Leave a lot landing nets. We quite often get asked, "Oh, you didn't bring this, you didn't bring that." We just simply haven't got the space to bring everything. But yeah, we come to the show showcasing new products so people can see it, and a little bit of just general stuff as well, just to give people a flavour. But yeah, just come over, have a wander, look at the products, ask some questions about it, and then just speak to any of the guys on the stand for tips and hints and experiences.
yeah,
So yeah, it'd be good.
cool.
Well,
Guys,
Sweet, good skills.
happy days. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll all see you on the next one.
Oh, saved your ass there, Dino.
You did.
Almost forgot about that.
Lewis with a tan.
Yeah.